I've been waiting all week, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are going to move our startup mock drafts that we do every single week to Saturday morning because honestly, like doing it a lot. I think we get all week to research, make videos, try to update our rankings the best that we can. But this is going to be a Superflex Titan Premium startup draft where kickers are rookie picks. So if you see someone take a kicker off the board, if it's the first kicker, it's going to be the first rookie pick. If you see someone take the second kicker, it's going to be the second rookie pick all the way down the line. I'm going to be picking here at 7, primarily because I want to be able to pick pretty often. I want to be able to talk about our selections. So I don't want to have to be at 1, be at 12, and be waiting 24 picks between our selections before we can actually get someone off the board. So it looks like Allen is going to be the first guy to go off at 1. Unless we add, actually, no, pack it up, queued Patrick Mahomes to go over Josh Allen, despite Allen being ranked at 1. Mahomes does go. I mean, if you pull up what we have on flogfantasy.com currently, I still have Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback 1 in Dynasty. I understand, yes, Kelsey's old, yes, Patrick Mahomes doesn't run the balls. I don't want to overthink it. I mean, we have seen every single year since Patrick Mahomes came into the NFL, and not in 2017, but since he started in 2018, I mean, Mahomes just be at the very top of the game. But if you pull up flogfantasy.com currently, you will see in the community rankings, people are now valuing Patrick Mahomes behind Josh Allen. The expert rankings have that as well. If you hit filter, go to add my rankings exactly, you will see that I have Mahomes at 1. I have him in the same tier with Josh Allen. I'm still preferring Mahomes, but nonetheless, as long as if you're in a super flex draft and you are taking one of these quarterbacks at the very top, I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, right now, if you're looking at my rankings, I actually have Joe Burrow in super flex leagues ranked ahead of Justin Jefferson. I have him ranked ahead of Jalen Hurts as well. So I'm really excited to get Joe Burrow here at pick 7. I understand, yes, he was hurt this past year. Now this is 2 seasons of his career where we've had to be worried about Joe Burrow injuries. Offensive line isn't great, blah, 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 but still, I'm completely fine going ahead and taking Burrow here at 7. But let me know if you are in the live chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have like, 60, 70 people watching this right now. Not a single person has sent us a message. It's a little rude, but nonetheless. Okay, so after we take Burrow, you have Herbert, obviously, with the coaching staff change there in Los Angeles. Should be very excited about Justin Herbert. I was expecting Burrow to go before Jefferson, and I thought I was going to be taking Justin Herbert at 7. In Superflex drafts, I do believe the first 7 players off the board should be quarterback, and you have Anthony Richardson here going before the first rookie. And this is why I'm saying time and time again, please, in your Superflex drafts, do not take Marvin Harrison Jr. at pick 1. Take Caleb Williams, assuming the landing spots are reasonable. Of course, if Marvin Harrison Jr. finds himself in Los Angeles, then maybe you change your mind on that. But nonetheless, if you just look at the positional value in comparison to quarterback and wide receiver in Dynasty, you have a total of 8 quarterbacks going off the board before the first rookie pick, and you have 3 wide receivers. So if you are making that investment into that 101, I do believe that you should be going ahead and you should be taking Caleb Williams. I understand Marvin Harrison Jr. is an extremely exciting prospect, but still. Now, if we were to take a rookie pick, it would be the 103 here. I think you could make an argument for the 103 and saying that's Drake May, saying it's blah, blah, blah. But now that you have Jahmyr Gibbs off the board, I'm probably going to go ahead and pull the trigger on my number 2 running back in Dynasty. I will take Bijan Robinson here. And then, yes, immediately after, you have the 103 off the board. So if you go over to flogfantasy.com, you will see that I have Bijan Robinson and the 103 ranked very close together. Right now, I have Bijan Robinson ranked 15. In my rankings, I have the 103 ranked at 18. If you're looking at the community rankings, however, and these community rankings are completely free for anybody who wants to check them out, you actually have the 103 and Bijan Robinson back to back. You have Puka ahead of both of those assets. I still have Bijan ahead of Puka, but that is just me. And yeah, of course, make sure if you ever wanted to check out those rankings, go to flockfantasy.com. The community rankings are completely free if you want to check them out. I think what makes our rankings best on flockfantasy.com is not only we have a ton of experts on the site, pretty much everybody you watch on YouTube's there, but also we have those exact rookie picks, so you get a much better sense of how you should be valuing these assets and if you are looking to make trades. But Puka finally off the board here at the 301, finally. And yeah, there will be some stuff behind the paywall on flockfantasy.com. Like, you can use the trade calculator for free. I think it's like 2 or 3 times a day. You can look at the community rankings for completely free on flockfantasy.com. All the expert rankings, that's going to be behind a paywall. Like, if you wanted to add my rankings and tiers and look at those in particular, that's behind a paywall. All the premium posts behind the paywall, unlimited access to the trade calculator behind the paywall. So there is stuff that is behind the paywall, but if you wanted to get access to that, you can also use promo code FLOCK. You'll get 30% off any subscription. Plus, yours truly will break down your Dynasty Fantasy Football team in a podcast with promo code FLOCK. You can find that link in the description or comment section. But let's go ahead and let's move this over. I'm going to refresh the chat because we have 100 people watching this, and YouTube has not showed me a single message of anybody in this live chat. Okay, we actually have some people. I just had to go through and I had to refresh this. We had to refresh it. Casey says Kyler over Caleb, in my opinion. I can't do that. I'm going Caleb over Kyler just based off the Dynasty marketplace and knowing how these assets will be valued 12 months from now. Like, Caleb's going to have to show very little for him to actually see that spike in value. Now, 2 is at the 306, so let's go ahead and let's figure out where we're going to go. I think we have 1, 2, 3 rookie picks off the board. So we are going to go ahead. We will take the 4th rookie. So if you are looking at the 4th rookie, let's go pull up flockfantasy.com and get those rookie rankings real quick. Pull up the prospects page. Obviously, this is not going to be the exact order and things, but just to give you a sense, you do currently have, say, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake May, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels inside the top 5. So if I'm looking at the ability to take one of these assets, obviously we're not going to be able to get Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., but we should be able to get Drake May, Malik Neighbors, or Jaden Daniels, one of those guys, and we'll get our choice between them, really. I'm going to be completely fine going ahead and taking the 104 where we do. I really like that tier of rookies, and yeah, I'd rather have probably at this point like Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors over Jalen Waddle and Jonathan Taylor. But let's move this over. Mitchell says, just traded Christian Watson in the 205 for Josh Jacobs and Deontay Johnson W. We can go ahead and put this into the trade calculator, my friend. I don't know if you had a chance to do this already. What's really cool about the trade calculator too is I know you can't type it out with your YouTube message, but once you actually go to the site, you can hit My League Settings, and you can go through and you can put your exact league settings that we have. And this is going to change the trade calculator values based off exactly how you want to construct your roster in league settings with your league settings. So let's go ahead. We have Josh Jacobs, Deontay Johnson versus Christian Watson, and a mid-second. So we can go ahead. It says you win this deal, and also with this trade, if you plug it into the trade calculator, you can see other trades underneath that show you deals where Josh Jacobs was traded for Christian Watson. So it should be useful for you there as well. But crap, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the clock and we are not paying attention. So we are going to probably have to make a panic selection here. And do we panic and take Tank Dell? No, if it's I don't know. We are going to panic. We are going to take TJ Hawkinson, tight end premium format, like we said at the very top. Maybe if we were actually paying attention a little bit better instead of just showing off the trade calculator, we could have had a better sense of what we were doing there. But it is what it is. We will take TJ Hawkinson and move on. Let me pull up my rankings again and actually play around and see which direction we should have gone in. So if you are looking at the community rankings, TJ Hawkinson was not the selection. There are multiple wide receivers, such as Tank Dell, that we pointed out initially, that are ranked ahead of TJ Hawkinson in the community rankings. However, if we're going to go ahead and pull up my individual rankings, this isn't for a tight end premium format, so obviously we do need to be giving a bump up to TJ Hawkinson in that format. I personally actually had Hawkinson as that highest guy. I guess I'm much higher on TJ Hawkinson than other people are. I have Hawkinson at 38. I have him directly before Addison, Smith, Pittman, Ayuk, directly behind the 106 and early to mid 2025 first. Particularly in a tight end premium format. I mean, I really like TJ Hawkinson. Still incredibly young. This is someone that's 26 years old. Actually, if we pull it up on flogfantasy.com, you can see his exact age. We don't have to just see 26. So he's 26 and a half, will be 27. You can see that he has been trending downwards in terms of his value over the past month. Earlier in the month, you were looking at him as high as 28 overall in the community rankings, and now he is down to 41. So definitely trending in the wrong direction with the injury. That's kind of what's going to happen with these injured guys that are out of sight, out of mind. But Rashee Rice off the board, 502. Rashee Rice is higher in the community rankings as well as Drake London. Like I said, in my own rankings, I personally have Hawkinson, but that's just my own rankings. Okay, and I think I know where we are going to go with our next guy. And it looks like Sleeper did update this ADP, so he's a lot better than it was a couple months ago. A lot better. Jake says, W, I'm assuming that was regarding the trade. Okay, the chat's not loading again. Am I going to have to close this out and open it up? I don't know why YouTube's doing this to us. Either that or y'all are not talking at all. One or the other. Okay, so Jordan Addison goes. Addison would have been my selection here. So now we're essentially looking at either DJ Moore or Zay Flowers. If you look at my rankings currently, I do have Zay Flowers slightly ahead of Moore. Let's go ahead and let's take Zay Flowers. I think it's very close. If you were a contending team, I think you make a strong argument for DJ Moore here. But we have built this team pretty young. I mean, our oldest guy is going to be TJ Hawkinson at 26. We have the rookie pick 104, so we are built somewhat around youth. But Tracy says, trade calculator is so accurate. Will there be thirds and fourths added to it value-wise? You can add a third and fourth round pick to the trade calculator, my friend. I mean, yeah, we worked our butts off to get this trade calculator because the issue with a lot of trade calculators is they're not like exponential in terms of the value. We have a specific, I don't know if you want to call it algorithm formula, but actually make it where you can't just add 5 quarters to be worth more than $1 with our trade calculator, which I do really like. But yeah, if you wanted to add in a third or fourth round pick to the trade calculator, just type in the year you want, and then yeah, you can go third, fourth round pick. Bam. Look at a 2023 third versus, I don't know, who else is worth the third? Demario Douglas. And then you immediately, once you put in Douglas, it'll show you all the deals done recently with Demario Douglas. So you can get a sense of maybe some other style trades that you want to do with them. Go ahead and hit this. It says that you'd rather have Demario Douglas over a third, which I honestly don't think is a big deal one way or another. But we are back up on the clock here, ladies and gentlemen, and we may make a disgusting selection. How many rookies have been selected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in the rookie pick 108. I think this is exactly where I have Bryce Young ranked. Is about pick 8. We'll go ahead. We will take Bryce Young here. I mean, with Young, I am not pumped. I don't want to act like this is a spot where we can for sure say, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, he's going to be much better next. No, he's in a horrible situation. It's hard to imagine the situation getting that much better. But, I mean, it is what it is. This is someone that was just selected number 1 overall, and we are taking him here in the middle of the 6th round of this startup. So I want to be realistic, say that, of course, we can't just completely write him off. We can also say at the same time that you probably don't need to do much if you're Bryce Young to get a bump in dynasty value from this point. where you're now being valued after Jaden Reed, now being valued after Dalton Kincaid. But I don't want to also sit here and act like, oh my gosh, I just got the steal of the draft, yada, yada, yada. Okay, let's move this over. Barkley and Pacheco immediately after as well. Okay, I am probably just going to have to keep on opening and closing this chat so I can see y'all's messages. I don't know why. It's not just automatically refreshing. Fafa Fui, I really like this question, saying, what new head coach is going to change the outlook of their players' fantasy scores most? I don't have a good answer for this question. I would definitely say that I think everybody is most excited about the Los Angeles Chargers situation. I think that that will be the coaching change that impacts from a team level the most. But it's not like the Chargers players weren't productive in the first place outside of this season, but we're talking about over the past few years. So can y'all please let me know in the live chat, what coaching change do you think has the biggest fantasy football impact? Hopefully it's Arthur Smith leaving Atlanta for the purposes of us going through and drafting Bijan Robinson here. But okay. And I'm Jedi says the Carolina change where, yeah, I mean, the guy going over to Carolina, obviously the story is, oh my gosh, he made Geno Smith look good. He made Baker Mayfield look good. And it's a compelling story. I mean, if you look at his track record, he has done very well, but it's just difficult to know. I mean, until we actually see it. Jovi says, I think Harbaugh is going to help whoever the new running back will be in LA. It will be interesting. It will be interesting. Baker Mayfield goes 703. I actually really like the Baker selection. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. Was that the 8th pick off the board, Moody? Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we were to take a pick, it would be the 9th rookie pick off the board. If we're going position by position, would I rather have Calvin Ridley, Mike Evans, or the 9th rookie pick? Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or the 9th rookie pick? DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris, or the 9th rookie pick? Kirk Cousins, Will Levis, or the 9th rookie pick? To be honest with you, I am going to go with the 9th rookie pick if we do not see that selection made here. Sleeper spasm, what is going on? Let's refresh sleeper. Hopefully this isn't a computer issue. Okay. We are not taking DeAndre Swift. I am sorry. Y'all saw what happened, okay? I'm changing this. I will not change it to a player that was already selected. Let's just go ahead and let's change it to Levis. Let's just get any change in there. I'm not letting auto pick DeAndre Swift on us. That would have been horrible. But okay. So let's move this over and let's see if we have another answer to the coach question. So he looks like most people are excited about what we have with the Atlanta change. Yeah, I mean, if the Falcons get Kirk Cousins, 100%, I agree. I mean, that is going to be one of the most exciting situations you can find. Obviously, people clown on Kirk Cousins from a real-life perspective, but if you're talking about from a fantasy football perspective, it's just putting up volume. I mean, Cousins is pretty much exactly what you want from a fantasy football quarterback if you're drafting his receivers. Okay, so let's move this over. George Kittle goes. So that was the 9th rookie pick, the 10th rookie pick, the 11th rookie pick. So if we take a rookie pick here, it will be the 12th one off the board. We have a very well-balanced team so far. We have 3 quarterbacks, a running back, a receiver, a tight end, and then the 104, which we can go in a couple different directions with. Jake Ferguson off. We are just seeing the fall off across the board. So we're on the 12th rookie pick. Rather, the 12th rookie pick. Or honestly, I'm going to take a quarterback here. Speaking of Cousins, we're going to take Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. I know it's boring watching us take 4 quarterbacks. But ultimately, Cousins is the start of this next year. He's healthy. Do I think he's worth more or less than the 12th rookie pick in this class? He's probably worth more. I think you have good value on Cousins, good value on Stafford. I think if you wanted to make an argument to go with Stafford over Cousins, you 100% could make that argument if you wanted to. But yeah, let's just go ahead and let's just pull the trigger. Kelsey goes immediately after here at pick 8. Pack It Up says 7th round gets disgusting. I will say it does seem like the 7th round is where the teardrop really is. I mean, as late as 6-12, you're getting Deebo Samuel here, which I think you could feel very excited about. And there are a bunch of players in the 5th and 6th rounds that I really like. I would say probably after the 5th round is when you get that teardrop down to the 6th. And then after the 6th, you get a massive teardrop down to the 7th. Like the 4th and 5th rounds look very, like, all about the same for me. I mean, like Nico Collins at the 404 versus T. Higgins at the 512. I don't necessarily see a massive difference between those two players. So, I mean, maybe if you're using this to try to prepare for your next startup, if you can make trades and position yourself to have as many picks in the first 5 rounds as possible, probably would be ideal. Probably would be ideal. But let's go ahead and let's move this over. Gucci Broomstick says, W draft from your boy at 6. My man, first off, thank you for being a long-time member of the flock. You know, I appreciate you. The Jefferson selection, I'm not a big fan of. The 103 pick, I love. I like the Tua pick. The Kyron pick, wide range of outcomes. I don't know how to feel about it. Could be great. Love the Addison pick. Love these 2 rookie values. And then love the Stafford pick. Yeah, so I really like the majority of the picks here. The only thing I'd say is probably it's personal preference, but I'd probably take Burrow, Herbert over Jefferson. Okay. Jake says just traded Kenneth Walker, a 4th, 3rd for Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, a couple different things I want to unpack with this. One, I have noticed a lot of people that are new to Dynasty. I'm not saying Jake is. I'm just saying this is a trend that I've noticed across the board, so I'm going to bring it up on a live stream. A lot of people that are new to Dynasty make the mistake of thinking that the 3rd, 4th round picks are going to make a difference for them. 9 times out of 10, a 4th round pick is never going to do anything. Like if you can just pivot up by selling a bunch of 4ths, definitely should be something you look to do. The second thing is, if you are looking at trading out picks in 2027, that should not be allowed. I'm sorry. I am the old man when it comes to Dynasty, I guess. Been playing Dynasty since 2014, and something that I've seen a lot of people doing as of late, which we used to not do back then, and honestly, I hate seeing it, is people going out there and people trading away picks that are 4 years away. And it's like, can we put into context exactly how far that is? I have no idea who to take here. Let's go Sharp. But think about how long this season has lasted. This is the best way we can try to put it into context. This season has lasted about 6 months. How long it's been since week 1 to get to this point. For you to have a 2027 pick make an impact, you're going to have to go that entire time period, another 6 months, again through this offseason. Then we're going to get to the 2024 NFL season. We have to do that entire 6 months again. Then we're going to get to the 2025 offseason. You have to do that entire 6 months again. Then we're going to get to the 2025 NFL season. You have to do that entire 6 months again. Then we're going to get to the 2026 offseason. Then you have to do that entire 6 months again. Then we're going to get to the 2026 season. Then you have to do that entire 6 months again. And then we have another 4 or 5 months before you get to your 2027 rookie draft. You could put a baby in someone, and by the time that rookie pick comes around, just to make the selection, that baby's walking, that baby's talking, that baby's a person. Like, you shouldn't be able to trade 2027 picks. And the thing is, if you want to say, well, Mason, I want to let people contend, blah, blah, blah. If someone feels like they have to trade their 2027 pick to go out there and contend, they're not really a contender. They shouldn't be trying to contend by trading away 2027 picks. But Jovi says, first year doing Dynasty for me. No, it's super flex, but why so many quarterbacks left on team? Because I thought they were good value. And in Dynasty, I'm just going to take the value and we can try to trade it later on. Now, so I understand this is not an exciting selection to say the least. But Jerry Jeudy is off the board at this point. Once we get to the point where Jerry Jeudy is off the board, it's kind of the wild, wild west. We'll take someone who does not look to be any good. But the saving grace may be how weak this running back class is in 2024. Najee Harris still on the rookie deal, may have some kind of security. Maybe after his rookie deal ends, he doesn't sign to be a starter anywhere, but maybe he goes over and maybe instead this is someone that's, I don't know, finds a spot where he can just be a committee style back, handcuffed with upside. And if we're talking about him in the same range as like Jerry Jeudy, I will go ahead and pull the trigger. If you were looking at quarterbacks, I mean, I think at this point you have had that teardrop once Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones are both off the board. I think you make a strong argument that Rodgers and Daniel Jones are worth more than our previous selection in Zach Charbonnet in the middle of the 9th. But I don't want to go through and take a 5th quarterback on our team. Claw says, I was pretty reckless in one league going with Stafford and Kirk. If you're going with Stafford and Kirk, if it's like a 6-point passing touchdown format, you're not in too bad of a spot. The issue is if it's like a 4-point passing touchdown format where Cousins and Stafford just have such limited rushing upside, it'll be so much tougher for them to catch up with the rest of the QBs. But 6-point passing touchdown, I mean, they can catch up with just passing volume alone. Guess Aaron Jones off the board, 10-11. Captain U says Puka was a rookie 4th rounder in most leagues. Yeah, I mean, you can go through and once every 3 years, you can find someone that goes in the 4th round and ends up being good, right? But say if you're looking at all the 3rd and 4th round selections, let's go 3rd, 4th, and 5th round rookie selections. There are 36 every single season. How many of them turn into Puka? Maybe we get one every other year. Out of that group of like 36. So if you're talking expected hit rate, you're going to be missing on about like 35. You're going to be missing on like 70 guys to find Puka, you know? And if you can consistently do it, that's great. I'm going to let you know right now, nobody can consistently do it. Like if you could consistently identify who the next Puka is, that's going to be going round 5, round 6 of the NFL draft, you probably would not be managing a dynasty team with us. You'd probably be managing a real NFL team. It's like the guys who manage real NFL teams can't even do it, you know? So I'm not saying 4th round picks are completely useless. I'm just saying you need to be very realistic with the expected range of outcomes and your expected hit rate if you are stacking up 4th round picks. Like if you can trade a 4th round pick and Kenneth Walker to go get Jahmyr Gibbs, I'd trade 5 4th round picks to move from Kenneth Walker to Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. So let's move this over. What rookie pick are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We are on the 15th rookie pick. 15th rookie pick or Sutton. 15th rookie pick or Goddard. Let's go ahead and let's take Dallas Goedert. I understand Goedert wasn't elite by any means, but like we said at the very top, this is a tight end premium format. With this being a tight end premium format, I am fine with the possibility of us going through and throwing Dallas Goedert into a flex. If you are looking at Goedert, this is a tight end that over the past 3 years has essentially been a low-end tight end one every season. 29 years old, flex appeal, and I'm a little bit less concerned about the age with tight ends than I'd be with the age when it comes to running backs. Jovi says, what do you think about moving up with the 105, 206, 207 for the 103, 203? I would do this in a heartbeat. I mean, if you're thinking about it, if you're going from, say, the 105 to the 103, what should that cost? In my mind, that should cost about a mid-second round pick. I mean, if we're getting a great price on it, a lot of times it's going to cost more. But if you could trade like the 105 and 207 for the 103, fine move. But also we're moving up from the 206 to the 203 at the same time. I think that's an absolute no-brainer. Okay, now that we are on the pick and we're looking at like Treylon Burks off the board, I will go ahead and I'll take the 15th rookie pick. If you're looking at the prospect list on flogfantasy.com, if we're looking at like the 15th rookie pick, obviously it's the wild, wild west down here. You don't know exactly what you're going to get. But you are kind of in like the Keon Coleman, J.J. McCarthy, Mitchell, Nix, Penix, Brooks, Sanders, Leggett range. So don't act like we know exactly what we're taking with that 15th round pick. But I definitely prefer him over the range of guys like Treylon Burks, for instance, or Condre Miller, or Cortland Sutton. Okay. Let's move this over. DeAndre Hopkins off the board there. Curtis says, Mason, how's the new ADP looking? 10 times better than it was a couple weeks ago, my man. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Yeah, that sleeper ADP definitely much, much better now. Del Meister says, so you're going to hire first and hire second. Yeah, it's a no-brainer if you can make that rookie pick trade. Nolan says, 95% of the time they just clog your roster with hope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those fourth-round picks, I know we can sit here and we can say, oh, I'm going to get Puka with this. The probability that you can actually pull that off is so slim. Isaiah Likely here I'm not a big Likely guy. Like I see a bunch of people on Twitter say, oh my gosh, we're going to have the best two tight end set. I think maybe Ravens fans are a little bit nuts with Isaiah Likely. I will say, however, getting him here in a tight end premium format right next to Wandale, who, I mean, I like Wandale, but still, I think that's a great value with Likely. Claw says Auden over Goddard. I'm not going to fault you for saying that, my man. I 100% see where it's coming from. But let's go ahead and I literally just had in our mind who we were going to take, and it has escaped me. Do we take 24-year-old free agent Gabe Davis? Obviously, with the hope that he goes back to Buffalo. Yeah, let's just go ahead and let's take Gabe Davis. Mr. Trey Lance here in the middle of the 13th hour. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, let me show you all the entire draft board, just in case you're just now coming in. We are here at 7. We have Burrow, Young, Levis, Cousins at quarterback. Running back, we have Bijan, Charbonnet, Najee. Tight end, we have Hawkinson, Goddard. Wide receiver, we have Flowers, Davis. We have the 4th pick, which with this team, that looks like it would most likely be Malik Neighbors. And we have the 15th pick as well, which maybe we'd have to take a swing on someone like Mitchell if we were filling this out. The reality of the situation is what I'd be aiming to do with this team is we'd be aiming to trade one of these quarterbacks and try to pick up a wide receiver before the season starts. But I'm not necessarily worried about our team need when it comes to January. Okay, so we have a couple wide receivers here going at the turn. Okay. Let's move this around. Okay. Okay, Winston off the board. We'd be with the 17th rookie pick, I believe, if we were to take a rookie pick here. Which, that is what we will do. Would I rather have the 17th rookie pick or like Michael Wilson, Jameis Winston, Chase Brown? I'm probably just going to go ahead and take the 17th rookie pick and get the flexibility going forward. But real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to remind y'all for the game tomorrow, the Niners game, on Underdog, if somehow you're not on Underdog Fantasy already, if you use promo code FLOCK when you sign up, top in some drafts with us, they will get you hooked up with a 100% deposit match, plus our Dynasty Fantasy Football rankings, and a Christian McCaffrey special pick'em more than less than half a total yard. But that's on Underdog if somehow y'all are not already there with us drafting, which I'd imagine all of y'all are, considering the fact that we have been doing that for years. Let's move this over. We got a couple more rookie picks off the board here at the turn. So let's see. What is this team doing here? We need to figure out what we are doing. Crazy to see Pickett fall this far. I mean, not saying it's unwarranted with how bad Kenny Pickett's been. But, I mean, we took like the 17th rookie pick before Kenny Pickett. You see Jonathan Mingo, Marvin Mims. What do they have here? We got an issue with this. Someone getting their guy. For a second, I thought that was Amir White. I was like, oh, what's going on? Okay. Now, Hooker, Pickett, both off the board. I probably would have taken Pickett if he would have made it to us. Where do we go here? We'll panic and see if we can find the next Trey McBride. Panic, take a swing on a young tight end that's flashed just a bit. We have Levis. Maybe we make an argument that we are stacking, but nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, if you have not done so, please go down there, hit that like button. It does look like less than 10% of y'all have dropped a like on this stream. We'll be streaming these every single Saturday. So if you want to get in our next draft, just make sure you are a member of flockfantasy.com. I'll send out that link in the Discord every single time. Promo code FLOCK, going to get you hooked up with everything on flockfantasy.com. Plus, if you use code FLOCK, you're going to get 30% off any subscription, a free week trial, and yours truly breaking down your Dynasty Fantasy Football team with the podcast. But I think that's all I have for you. Really do appreciate you, and really hope we get to see you out with the live stream tomorrow morning.